My name is Beta Rock, and together we can change the world. This is a biblical text, John 3:8. The wind blows wherever it pleases. You hear its sound, but you cannot tell where it comes from or where it is going. So it is with everyone born of the Spirit. This then is my prayer. Lord, may I be your wind here now. In Jesus' name, amen. A little piece of dirt on my screen. I'm trying to scratch it off so it doesn't distract me. I have leaned into John 3:8. I mean, I probably should do a Beta Rock message just on that, just because, just like that, life goes. I am in my mind now. I'm focusing. Just I don't know how do I say this. Instead of looking to the past, looking to the Bible. Okay, not that I know that has a place, but into this terrain of the future, even into the idea of namaste, like be present. Okay, well, it's one thing to be thinking, which is definitely not right, to be thinking and operating on a date. I'm trying to be quiet because it's late. Okay, I do have a neighbor upstairs. He's a blessed man, really. He smokes all the time, and he has a coronavirus mask that he wears when he walks. I talked to him a few times. In fact, I even upset him. Well, the census people came. The census people came. Did the census people come to your house? I saw this lady at a friend's house who I'm going to have supper with on Thursday. Oh, the wind, I'm telling you, it's real. Just like what I think I'm going to say here is real. To trust into the future. I mean, that's where we really are living. That there was some. How do I say this? See, this is where I'm taking like namaste, where I want to give namaste value, and I'm really saying no. The Holy Spirit, God, old dusty book is better. Okay, and this is. I'm glad for this because I think this is right. This is why I'm America's effing pastor. I sent a note to this guy, my elder. I think he needs fired. I do. I sent a note to a friend who I think needs fired. God, really? I mean, I'm not saying that. I say that both ways, like exasperated God, and then also God, help here. Do I give up on these people or do I give them a chance? The future. Okay. We do live into the future, whether right. I mean, Namaste wants us to stay present. Then the living in the past, no, or trying to live in the past, which I think I did. Hope, dear God, help us to come out right. To look into the past and try to cling to things, to trust into the future. No. Who do we know? That's it. That's the answer. The only one that knows the future is the Omega, the end. Okay, so yeah, I can think about the past. When I pray to God, I think about these things, and that brings us to Gethsemane. Okay, I'm trying to say 75,000 things at once. So how about we just stir it up in you and you can think about it? I have, let me finish. The guy upstairs, I'll just to finish the story for the sake of do you care, you know? But the census lady, so I mean, just into, I can't know all those 75 variables, but if I ever stood rigidly, which I definitely did before, then how could I let God move? And when I really start to study into this, it's like no, stay present, stay pushing into the future. I'm just enjoying the future. Yeah. See, that word came out, enjoying, because I got burned trusting God. I was telling this to my friend. She told me not to talk about her anymore, and too bad. Okay, she my friend. She got an Indian name. It's Maria. Like that's fun too. The census people that I met, this lady over yonder, like not even at my house. This was weeks ago now, but I mean, it was a time. So I saw her. She came to my house and said, hi, because she was assigned to this area, which makes sense. We're close enough, me and this neighbor. He might be, if it's a mile, it's a mile. It was probably not two, and it might not be one. It's a little bit, but it's not like right beside it. It's not like my block. Okay. But this census lady, this must be, it was her territory. So she came here and she knocked on my door, and I don't think she would have known. No, she could not possibly know. She's like, hey, hey. I mean, it wasn't quite like this, but no, it wasn't like this at all in the form. But I think this, Hey, guess what? There's a guy upstairs. Do you know if, and they asked me these questions, and I answered them because she's a census lady. I don't think she had a badge, but she had a bag. And then later I was like, I dishonored my neighbor because I answered her questions about him. That's not my effing business. Okay. So I thought about this, and then I thought about, I told him this is weeks ago that this happened. Why am I saying all this? I don't know. I forget where my mind was with that. So we'll move on. Maybe it'll come back to me. Maybe it'll come up later. I don't know. See, that's the wind. So let's go with the Garden of Gethsemane because this is in mind here. Do you look at those thumbnails? Even that was just in mind. When you're when you're America's pastor, and at one level I could challenge. That's what I'm not really sure because even at work, do I push? That's really where the message base sits. Listen to me. Listen to me. Oh man, yeah. The message really sits. Even with my friend, I do this, and I think she tests me in this, and so well maybe. Look, do you have your best interest at heart, or do you have mine? That would be what she would be asking. What you could be asking, what anybody, I think, at some level is asking any relationship they're in. Because I've said things here, and I'm like, right now, this isn't about me. It's about, lean into God. That's it. That's my tattoo here. Audience of one. You need to have an audience of one too. And I can preach it and I can preach it. I think Charles Stanley preached it 75,000 times. And then when it finally comes down to doing it, do we actually do that? So whether you listen to it in the sense of obeying what I'm saying doesn't change the fact that at least at some level, no, at a base level, look, I am only a moon reflecting. See how that light even here now? Reflecting what God says. And as America's pastor, I'm telling you the choice is more so of what you need to know. You need to do this too, because even with certain people at work, like I have this Facebook picture now where I've been talking to this Andy Dufresne, where I think I'm going to get my worker people awards. But is that really the end? Should I not be telling them to lean into God so they can come out of their pit? That makes assumptions here, so I'm just thinking out loud. But at some level, look, I'm not the pastor into that. Oh my God. I mean, I don't know. The body of the Bible talks to having a body, and somebody's the ear and the head and different. Oh, I'm the head, America's pastor, king. You want the title? Step up to the line. Oh, but you said fucking. I mean, that's really where things are with my friend. Like, she's like, I'm really kind of upset about this, which is kind of right. And with my ladies, oh, that's her job. I mean, at some level here, but I have to sit and think. And anyways, this brings me some level to whether that's right because I'm the effing king. Like, it's not up to her to decide or you. Okay. You're totally a pissant compared to her. Kinda. Maybe. Hey, you have to. That's why I say, message me. You go after her. You want the title of best friend, you got one to take down. Okay. And by this, your finger is pointed to the United Kingdom, where I just, maybe it's that way. I have no idea. That makes it fun. That's what Scotty just said in Star Trek. This ship is exciting. Yeah, yeah, it is. That's the wind blows every which way. Then it becomes exciting. Where are we going to go? I have no idea. Clinging to the past. That makes me think of things I'm not going to get into. Are we okay? Let's regroup and get to the point. Okay. The Garden of Gethsemane. How about those pictures? When I'm America's pastor, I started to think things like I was just reading this passage. Are you still sleeping? I was trying to think, what is God saying here? And I read through the different versions on Bible Hub. Do you do this? What I've learned, I'm telling you now, this is like training. If you have a passage, if you pick the verse, Bible Hub will come up, and that one's good because you can see down the different commentaries. And there's a nuance to this, and I could see the people that, I mean, these people care. So I think they're asking the same question. What is Jesus saying here? What's happening? Oh my God, there's so many things in my mind onto this. Let's stay to the main point. God is only going to trust. Hang on. God is the only trust. This is what I mainly want to say. I was thinking about it on my bike on the way home from work, and now I'm sitting here doing it because I'm sure of this. God is the only fitting person to trust with your fibers. I'm going to say it again. God, that could be the title, I guess. God is the only fitting person to trust with your fibers. Because when I was coming in from work, the things that were burdening me when I was on my bike, some of these are actually only reserved by the Bible into God. That's a code, you boy. Good luck figuring that one out. Okay. I might never even tell. I don't know how these things go. My mom had a secret once that I think I figured out. I did. I mean, I did. I really did. She told it to this friend of mine, Sally. Okay. And years later, she never said it, but I finally figured it out. I forget why. Maybe I don't know. God help us to come across. But anyway, that's the point. Because when I was coming home, I'm like, it made me think about three or four different things. And now I'm deciding, look, this is why, because of this Garden of Gethsemane thing here. Jesus was calling, let's go through it. Yeah, we're going to go through it because that's what I did. Okay. And I think that's what God's trying to tell us here. So we'll just see where this goes. We're trusting the wind. Jesus prays in the Garden of Gethsemane. It's not even that long. Matthew 26. I'm all excited. Now, can you see it in my eyes? 36. Then Jesus went with them to a place called Gethsemane. He just went to some place. It was called Gethsemane. He had something. He had a burden. Listen, he's Jesus and he's divine. There, that song, you could download this. God's own fool, to believe the unbelievable. I was telling my friend, is God sovereign and control? And I gave her the I googled it, the philosophy of your brain being in a vat tied to a computer. So that's how I said, if God's this way, it's fine. I'm fine with this. I'm 51% into believing God's 100%. And I'm too tired to try to explain all this. But basically my end with her is that it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. It does not make sense. But okay, it gives me a way to operate, because here's another example of this. Is Jesus God? Yes. But in this case, is Jesus human? Yes. Okay, he's human here. So you can't. And people go, what I think happens is when people want to sin, I still think it comes down to just you want to do your own effing thing and sin and lick the boobies. That's what I like to do. See, that's my favorite thing, really. I mean, and then my friend will hear that and she'll be like, "You are so," and she'll go into all these escapades. And then I wrote her back and said, "This is because I just tell the truth. I'm not. I am America's pastor. Like, it doesn't depend on what I say, but then I trust it. Look, okay." Well, you might do. No, listen, I'm going to tell you what comes to mind, because that's the truth. Bill Hybels did the same thing a bit. Okay, licking the boobies. I'm just telling you about licking the boobies. I love it. Okay, it is chocolate. Okay, and water skiing and Hershey Park. I mean, chocolate's not down there that much because I'm not a food person, but dieting and different things. I get it's once you deny it, that's what Paul says. Like, once you know the law, and it enhances it, right? So I like chocolate. I think sex is my favorite thing, and I'm never going to do it again. Not even, what do you call that? What is that word? DIY. It's done. I was thinking about that at work. Alexa, stop. Are we okay here? God, this is what I think, because I'm sensing into something. Okay. Where, like with Yoda, when he sits in Star Wars and he looks into the future. I was doing this. That's what I'm saying. We live into the future. We have a goal. I want to go to Lake Oconee, and then I want to go to San Diego. I don't know. I don't know all those steps. I have certain visions where things are going to go, like they did in Star Wars. The good's going to win. Okay. And I forget what Yoda would think about, but sometimes he's like, it's not really clear. It's not really clear. But sometimes it does get clear, and some of the things that are happening. That's why I'm listening. What's happening with me at work? What I was sitting around wishing that I could talk to Charlotte about, my daughter. Okay, watch how your daddy. Listen to me. Watch how your daddy interacts with God here. We don't know. Charlotte, what do you think about this? She's like 7 or 8. I got an Excel file. I don't even know how she is. It's ridiculous. I think I don't know. Okay. But this is important. Watch how your daddy interacts. This is what Charles Stanley was saying about his own son, Andy, and Andy became a piece of shit. Maybe. We don't know that. But right now he is. I prayed to be. I prayed Mark 11 to be the president or whatever, to replace Charles Stanley at In Touch Ministries. How about that nugget? Okay. Can you imagine that? See, that's why we got to do this a little bit. Because, right, like Johnny Hunt, he hired a piece of shit. His name's Jeremy, to take over for him. Because he was trying to, that's what I think. Well, you stick me up there, this thing will flatten. I did the same thing for Messiah. Really, to be the president, whatever you call the person that's in charge, to be the captain of the ship. What this stuff gets into YouTube that never goes away. Because it's true. Jesus is starting to see things at Gethsemane. It's coming. It's coming. My time has come. Oh my God. I mean, that's what he's saying as a human. They're going to come and rip me apart. I love Mel Gibson's movie there. I mean, I bet that's exactly how it was. Oh, God knew it was coming. Jesus. And then it's like, it's coming, but he's human. He doesn't know. That's why only God knows the end. And all these things we can spin around. Look, there's some things to believe the unbelievable. It gives me chills. Listen to that song. What's his name? Steve? It's not Kent. Michael Card. To believe the unbelievable, right? This is what I'm saying here, okay? It doesn't mean that God's not, but here he's human. That's that's what's happening. Okay, I'm going to say it as authoritatively. That's he doesn't know. But like Yoda is, look, this is coming. That's what I think's happening with me at work. I don't know how I'm going to get to San Diego. I got all these different things. I don't know how I'm going to get to Lake Oconee. And then listen, if things aren't clear, we'll just clear it up later. But I was saying about this because this it's just for fun. I think that's what God wants us to do. I don't know, at least in this case. Because if I get to Lake Oconee, I'm done. Okay. Life well lived. That's not even the truth at all. That's not even, because who knows what's going to happen then? We don't know. It's just fun little things to think about. You know, Charlotte might be here before too long. And I got an air mattress. I mean, Judge, hey, and I was thinking about this the other day, this bug, because I'm working on these, what do you call them? American cockroaches. I got a friend in Georgia. Do you see how the wind blows here? Is this okay? Maybe we'll come back to that. I want to stay a little bit to the point. The people that in those paintings of the thumbnails that I put on the picture here, I did this on purpose, because like when Jesus in that Gethsemane prayer, like, and that's what we think, but is that really what Jesus was doing? How long do you think he was sitting there? I think he was there for hours. Maybe, I don't know, some amount of time. The other day I got down when I did the Mark 11 into In Touch. I'm like, I need to get down and pray about this one. Okay. And so I was flat out right over there, flat, head down, knees. My chest would have been hitting the floor, arms outright. We don't do that all the time. And you sit down to pray for whatever. I mean, how many times is it fitting to have a prayer like that? But so would have Jesus been doing something like that at the Garden of Gethsemane? Oh yeah. Was he doing that forever? No, he's probably doing it for a few seconds. God, we got something to say here. I want you to honor what's going on here. But this time I'm just kind of thinking of, maybe like with me, I walk around. I got stuff like this. I put on my comfy shirt. I needed to be soft. I had to take off the shirt because this is my comfy undershirt. I had this other shirt on because I was cold, all these things. I want you to try to embrace God for the reality of what he is. This is a future God. We think into things in the future, right? Right? That's where I'm really kind of diving in here with you with this. We don't, but sometimes we know. And then, so Jesus, the passage here, it says he went back a third time. Like, it's happening. And here they are now. So Jesus knew it, but he didn't know it. Listen, he didn't know it. He didn't know it, but so many things, it's coming. That's what I think is happening at work. and I got to prepare for this. I got to prepare for the nuances. And Kirk gets punched in the face. I have no idea. Listen, Charles Stanley here saying, look, when the Kurds, that's what I need to know. I need to know that when I come, I should not be surprised. The wind blows, but here it's blowing. It's blowing. It's time. Be ready. Seize the day. Other things I wanted to say, maybe we'll be done. Look, the burdens of these kind of things sit with one person, Jesus. I wanted to, in selfishness a little bit, but then also it's just a dynamic. My friend and I can fight about this. Okay. I was like, no, I was thinking this on my bike. This isn't really a place for her to handle these burdens. But then it made me resentful. Okay. Because then she bitches back into different things like, well, you don't listen to me. That's exactly what we were effing saying yesterday to each other at like 4 o'clock Eastern, 4:30. Because I decided to give her my time as soon as I came home. In responding to that bullshit a little. Okay. You know who doesn't get tired? That's one of, what do you call that? A rhetorical question. We know the answer. That'd be God. He doesn't get tired, and that's fitting and appropriate and right. I was thinking about this time in jail. My mom loves me. She does, and maybe she doesn't now, but she probably does. Okay. But if anybody on this planet, she was with me in jail and different things there. I'm glad, but I was tiring her out, and that's because she's a human and not God, and she did good. But it's the same kind of a thing. That doesn't, the teaching there really, that's what Charlotte and I could be talking about when this American cockroach walked by me. American cockroaches are not aggressive. They're not even particularly scary. They're just here right now. We're dealing with them. And I was talking with this person at work and a couple people at work. It's become a little thing. That's why the wind is fun. Okay. Like Judge, I mean, that's what mainly my thoughts were with the judge. Like, we're just going to talk about this. I mean, would you like to live on a farm, or would you like to live here with the bugs? Well, the main point is that I'm the fucking head of the house. And I'd say that to her, Charlotte. Here's a new word, F. I'm thinking about making this coloring book for rock. Okay, Charlotte could have her page. F is for fucking. I think somebody's done like it's a verb, a noun, an adjective, an adverb. But what was a present participle? That word is so wonderful. Okay, it's vibrant though, because like if you have to learn how to use it. That's America's pastor talking. Can you imagine if I stand in Touch Ministries and rip into this? I mean, basically my sales pitch, if Charles Stanley flies me down there, is going to be like, look, friend, beloved, sir, all these words for him. You give me the reins, which you will. Listen, because of Mark 11. This ain't going to be no smooth transition. It's going to be, well, I don't know. We don't know. That's a win. That's for God. You've been telling us your whole life. You said you were ready to retire. Trust God, leave all the consequences to him. I'm the consequence. You stick me up there and we have no idea what's going to come out. But listen, and it's going to be fun, and it probably will flatten, just like what's going to happen to Messiah. I don't know. But it sure should not be run by Kim Phipps. Why? Because when you cut me apart and you get down to that Superman fiber, what are you going to find here? Jesus. Okay. I swear to God. And I'm not supposed to swear, so I take that back. But whatever word you can say, look, I really believe in you, prob and trip. I think that's what was happening with my friend. She was still bitching into it yesterday about this girl. She wouldn't let it go. Does it make me not America's pastor because I like to lick boobies? No, it makes me America's pastor because I'm not going to again. Are we done? Okay. Let's take a second. Okay, I think you can just think about that later. I want you to think about these pictures for a second and embrace into what's happening. And okay, I already said that, but the one picture there with the angels, I mean, the imagery here is good. I want you to think about what it would be like. Let's embrace Jesus as who he is. Read that passage. They don't go thinking about how God and how, like, think of him as 100% human right there. Except he's like you. Listen, he's like, listen. He's like you. If you got sin in your life, you got to clean it out. That's what Charles Stanley says. So it's only if you are in the club. Are you in Beta Rock Church? Are you a Beta Rock Church member? No, because I don't have any. So get it together. Go through the material. I was thinking about I want to be convinced that you are a Christian. Then you have the right to think into these kind of places the same way, because if then we're on the same page here. We're sitting with Jesus in our own place with our own flip-flops and our own snuggly shirt, and we're living life and we're thinking into the future. All right, we have the right to be called a child of God. Now we're in the club of the unknown. And who knows the future? Again, rhetorical, God. And we'll talk about it together. Wrestle, like me and my friend. We're wrestling. Yeah. Jesus says to him, "Are you still sleeping?" Like, I was thinking, if he knows, then why didn't he rebuke him harder? Because he wasn't totally sure. That's what I know here. He wasn't totally sure. Oh, God, it's coming. He knows it. Just like with me, my work, and you into whatever you're thinking about. If you're in God's club, which you aren't yet, until, well, I don't know that, but I'm really pushing you here a little bit. Come on now. Beta Rock Church is special. This is our generation. We're not trying to replicate what happened. Okay. We're trying to put the same, listen to me. This is a timeline that not bad over here. We're trying to take the same Holy Spirit God that happened in the timeline of a way back when and shove it into the future. This is our time. It's going to be telling the judge, do you want to be a part? I saw your picture in the newspaper and you were in 6th grade or whatever grade. That girl is who I'm talking to. Look, you are now given. This is our time. Are you ready to step down as judge and join or whatever? I don't know that, but what we definitely need to do is change divorce in America. Without a doubt. My friend, he's still working on me. Okay. I'm working on him. He says things that are just on point that only people that have been through it know. Okay. I don't have the answer. So I told him, I said, listen, I don't have the answer. Who does? Listen, Omega. I'm exploring into this kind of for the first because I got burnt in the past. When I trusted into God's voices and got burnt, I thought that was rejection. Maybe that, listen, oh my God. Does God have a plan C in 12? I like how that came out. So I was thinking about this. It's not even a plan C, it's a plan 1. That's okay. When we F up our plan, Charles Stanley even talked into this the other day, and I'm introducing different thinking. Like, look, this girlfriend that I had then who just destroyed things for decades, only till I said, she's a piece of shit. That I really would say that part of life is done. Oh my God, that's a long effing time. That's why I got to have Charlotte here to talk about the bugs. It's not good to live that long. Okay, we got to learn a thing here and then do it. Rock. Anyway, the bug was just walking right along. I was laying here on the bed. I think it over because I have this wires. Probation comes. I'm never hanging this TV because I'm ready to go to San Diego. And it's fine. But anyway, the bug came because I was thinking about this. Maybe I need to convince the judge that this place is safe. There's an adventure here. Okay, are the bugs really hurting me? No. Okay. We cooperate. I'm trying to kill him. I thought it'd be fun, Charlotte, take some of the dust, and that's what I was thinking about. It was like the bug went. That's kind of what convinced me into this, because the bug was just walking along, minding its own business. It did not look at me. Does it know that I'm there? It's just, we're cooperating. Like, it's kind of like when the birds become comfortable with that lady. And what's that movie? Home Alone. We're going to be done here. It's getting boring now. Home Alone 2, a little. Okay. It's a 2, I think. And the birds just flock to her. Like, they're aware of her. Okay. But she's not scary. That's how it was with me and the American cockroaches. And I didn't get up and get all bent out of shape over them. They weren't like walking in my mouth or in my eyeballs. They don't do that. They might walk on my toes. They a little bit in my bed, and then I kick them out. Like, I am working on them. They are better. That's what the one lady at work said. She's like, they're cockroaches. 2 people. This one lady. We only got one lady. that's there. And then one of the guys, he said, like, that was the comment, like, you're gonna have a tough time getting rid of these cockroaches. Well, but they are less. We'll give this a little bit of time. I'm trusting my Georgia friend who is a effing bug expert into how, and I did exactly what I said. I texted him a picture. That's life. Always living into the future, always having cockroaches to overcome. Klingons, so many stories. Life is fun, is it not? I want to try to sum it up because I said a lot of different things and hopefully get your mind probing, your spirit probing into the future. Jesus did not know what was happening, but all the things like us humans, that's what he was tapped into God, no doubt there. It's coming, isn't it, God? I got to go back 3 times. And then but he didn't really know. He could have said it firmer. Like, I mean, it's like, but he didn't really know. He wasn't God in the sense of being Omega right then. He was human. But he thought, just like Yoda, just like you. If your mind's right, if your heart's right with God, then I'll give you the privilege to say, yep, you can claim that. But then we don't know. We're just sitting with God and Jesus in the flip flops and aiming into a future that we don't absolutely know all the time. I want us to embrace that and then give testimony to when we trust God and leave the consequences to Him and say, looky there. Lord, help us in these places. And by us, I mean us, me too here. I'm forging ahead and preaching into a thing that we got a God here. We got Jesus in the Gethsemane. That's good. Didn't I tell you it was happening to his disciples? These are his best friends. And we do need, I love my best friend. I was thinking about different other friends, and no, she does have a particular place, but not primary. That is a teaching in this too. That belongs to Jesus. That's what my friend from work who's going through this divorce needs to hear down to his fibers. I saw some, I for another day, right? No, no, I tell you, he had he lifted his shirt the other at work yesterday, and I saw a cross tattoo. Okay, that tells me something because I've been preaching into him a little bit, a little, but just cautious. I don't know. Neither does Jesus. Hmm. Help us in these places, God. Have clarity in our decisions, and then to trust you with the consequence, even if it means the cross. In Jesus' name, amen.